Welcome to the Sisters Uncensored podcast, where we get into everything from childhood trauma to millennial adulting and all things in between.
We share crazy stories from the past and present to help us cope with the insanity that is our lives.
By sharing our perspectives, we hope to bring some relatability, laughter, and unsolicited advice that can help you survive the messiness of life along with us.
My name's Jessica Labita. I'm a millennial mom, wife, and marketing professional, and I am absolutely insane.
My name is Ashley Leneve. I am a millennial stay-at-home mom, avid golfer, and too mouthy for my own good.
We are real sisters, and this is Sisters Uncensored. Take this trip with us. What's up? Welcome to Sisters Uncensored. We're here with Shannon Fasone from Turnkey Women, and she is saving our lives today.
Yes, she is.
Wow. We had some guests scheduled to come into the studio, and someone had an emergency and canceled, and we reached out to our amazing Turnkey Women network, and we're like, does anybody want to come hang out with us today and be on the podcast? And Shannon was like, I'm here.
Done and done.
Yay, thank goodness.
Done and done.
Yes.
Perfect.
So we're so excited that
Thank you for having me.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
That was impulsive and crazy.
That's the way I live my life.
Yeah, same.
Exactly.
Fly by the seat of my pants and
That's
hope
right.
it all stays on.
We're
That's
all
always the
winging
game.
it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
That's the game, right?
Totally. So for our listeners, we've talked about this before, but Turnkey Women,
Yes.
we came in connection with you guys being part of this space in Point Pleasant, which is where our studio is and where we record. We met so many incredible people through this network.
Yeah.
And everyone's just so freaking supportive. And like, we've met maybe 2 or 3 people in person now. I think you're our
Amazing.
third person that we like
Yay.
actually met in person.
That's my lucky number, 333. So
Oh my God, that's my son's
a very holy
of
number.
course. My son's name is Trey. And so his
Oh.
number is always
I love that. Say
334.
goosey bumps.
I
Goosey
love
bumps.
that.
Meant to be the universe. I always say it's the
Right?
universe. I
It's
don't
true.
think, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is by accident.
No.
No.
So we're so glad that you're here with us because
Thank you.
we know this was like last minute, and it's just awesome that you're right here.
I know I live literally 5 minutes from here. Drive
That's
by here
perfect.
all the time, and was so excited to meet you guys in person because
Yay.
we've gone back and forth with messaging,
Yeah.
and we've obviously had you as part of our community, which is when you show up, whether it's digital, whether it's in person, an event, doesn't matter to us. Showing up is showing up.
It's been great. Like so I'm totally bummed we missed your event this past week.
Epic.
It looks
Not to rub it in.
awesome.
Not to rub it in, but
I know. Being away
Tell us about it.
summer with kids has been crazy.
I bet.
So
I know.
tell us,
Tell us all about it. Wow.
So we got
What we missed.
we started on one boat, and then we got a call that boat had messed up their scheduling. So we were lucky enough they directed us to their neighbor, and we went on the Navasant Queen out of Atlantic Highlands. Shout out. They were fucking amazing.
I have a funny
Awesome.
story for you about Atlantic Highlands.
Oh, I love funny
But
stories.
keep telling me.
Okay. I want to know the story more. But the event was so good. But so we had 60 women. And when I say the caliber of these women, like we had a panel of women influencers. So it was Kelly Stockley. She has her Emma Grace blog. She did this during COVID. She watched a creator talk about body type and like her new body type and fitting clothes. And it was weird. And she just had a baby and was like out of her skin.
Yeah,
And like
yeah.
she
Been there.
connected so well with this creator and started doing it herself. And now she's like taken off and it's becoming like, she's a teacher too.
Awesome.
So she spoke, and then Kate Santangelo from the Mom of Moms was one of our speaker. And she, if you follow her, is like the total resource of what to do with your kids in Monmouth County and Ocean County. And then we had Lauren Farrell, our
love
girl,
Lauren.
We love
Juicy
Lauren.
Tits, which is kind of how we connected.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
we are huge sliding in DMs. So when you guys slid in our DMs, it just felt so right.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It just felt so right.
It's so
And
amazing.
It was. And then you guys had her on.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was so organic with her. She's a really great
She's
person.
so cool.
And we
I
had
liked her.
So smart.
I know.
Case clothing too. Like they
Yes,
dressed
Christina.
us. She dressed us for one of our
Yeah.
like first few episodes. Like she was just so unbelievable because we were like, we want to start to get to know some of the businesses in the
Yes.
area, right? Like we're
Yes.
here pretty often at this point, and because we live up north, it's nice to just be part of the community, be here, like support other women, support other businesses.
Yeah, we're big on women supporting women.
It's such a big deal.
a big deal.
Like, it's such a big deal. We talk about it all the time. And it's not, we're not anti-men. This is like not a, like, we hate men. We work with a lot of men. Sure. A lot of women that are in our community have men bosses or partners or whatever that is. But it's just really giving women the chance to come together more so and like really push each other forward.
Yeah.
Great.
You know, it's one thing to show up for yourself and your agenda and your own business, but like for somebody to take the time to push yours, it's like a feeling that I don't even know how to describe. It just feels like, holy shit.
I think, and like some of this is what we talked about with Lauren, where it's like innately, I feel like women are jealous and bitchy and competitive.
That's what I was going to say.
So crazy.
Like, it's so nice to see people, women at least, coming together and like boosting each other up versus the, you know what I mean? Or just giving it
the side eyes, or the ones that show up and pretend.
Yeah, the phonies. Yeah, the phonies.
Which you know you feel in your gut right away, and then you feel bad for feeling like, ooh, I don't like that person. And then fast forward to when that person shows really who they are, and you're like,
I was right.
And then like we talk about it a lot, how like you have to really listen to your instincts and not feel bad about that.
100%.
Right? Instead of sitting here being like, I'm a bad person because I'm supposed to love women and accept all the women. And it's like,
they're not all right. Let's be honest.
Right. That's why we started Turnkey Women.
That's great.
You know, because we actually started as a business development and networking group for women in real estate.
Okay.
So I'm in title insurance originally, and my partner Stacy Donadio is an agent. And we were working with a couple guys to do this like real estate networking group. And when I say these men, the ideas that were coming out of their mouths, I was like,
you're not getting it.
Fireworks and warehouses and they're like, who's going to come and march through our event? I'm like, can't we just get some business cards, a crudité, and like some prosecco? Like,
maybe
that
cocktails and
keep it simple.
Yeah. So we walked outside of the diner that day and like, can we do this ourselves? Like, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. I've done event planning plenty of times, but the women part of it seemed to be so easy, but at the same time, when we went into doing it, like we did get a lot of women who I think they thought they were there for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when we met Lauren, and I will be the first to admit, I was afraid to say tits. Like it was not in general, but in front of these women that I'd had these instincts about. Like they were gonna, I didn't care if they judged me. I didn't want them to judge a woman in business that they didn't even know.
Right.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't even think I've ever been able to clearly explain that. So I'm glad that I'm sitting here because I finally just had the moment where I was like, I met Lauren and she elevates this word tits. And I was like, unbelievable. And I remember sitting there months down the road being like, we need more Laurens, right?
Yeah.
Like,
we do need more Laurens.
We want to really bring in and connect.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she's so smart. She's so real.
She's like
so
very polished.
Oh my,
she's
polished.
very like
yes.
When I
not
say polished, I don't mean we are not. We are rough around every edge.
I was just telling somebody that I need a buffer to polish me because I need to be more palatable for other people instead of that.
There you go.
Thank you.
So funny. Real.
Just
I don't know how to be anyway else.
That's
honestly,
exactly
right?
it. That's exactly it.
To a
we
fault.
actually talk about that a lot. As far as the things that we discuss on our podcast and the way that we deliver our thoughts and things like that.
Fucking hysterical, by the way.
Thanks so much. That's me.
I'm not starting any sibling rivalry or anything like that.
I'm just kidding.
You're both hilarious.
That's so funny. She means me. But anyway, the good one and the bad one. Jessica is the smartest. Trust me.
Look, everybody's something.
Yeah,
she does.
So I was like, my livelihood still depends on my work because
she is
we're not
brilliant.
making any money doing this right now.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Jess is absolutely brilliant. She is very, very smart. Very smart. Way smarter than me. I know it. Like we've known since she was a little kid that she was a little genius. But and crazy. But it's fine. You know, it's fine. It's called balance.
I was going to say, I feel like they're always.
Yeah. Listen.
I think I admitted
something's
in
got to be a little bit
intro
off,
when I
no matter what.
for the podcast.
If you're that smart.
Right.
And I'm insane.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. That's it. That's a perfect description of it.
Brilliant madness.
We say unhinged. What was unhinged energy is what we've been going with.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Who came up?
yeah.
Somebody I have to remember, but go on. Tell
Oh,
me.
I love it. Well, I lost my train of thought.
Same.
Whatever. It's
The
fine.
realness. We were talking
Oh, the
about,
realness,
yeah.
real.
Yeah. So point being is like every time we would meet with somebody new, like whether it be people consulting us or even our agency and anyone,
Yeah.
our publicist, anything like that. As soon as we would like interview with people or speak with them, I come out like right away, like right off the bat, and I'm like, I just want to let you know. I say what I want to say. I don't give a shit.
Good.
All right. If you don't like it, that's how it's going to be. I'm in my zero fucks given
Same.
era. So
Same.
I can take any hate. I don't care.
Yeah.
It's water off a duck's back to me. It's
Yeah.
fine. I don't care. But like, I don't want you to be clutching your pearls once you like see our show or something like that.
Yeah.
This is exactly what
Or
you
clutch
get.
your pearls and keep scrolling. How
Right.
about
How
that?
about
Like,
that?
go
Right.
clutch your pearls
Exactly.
over there.
Exactly.
And I'm going to keep doing me over here.
I am like corporate conditioned at this point.
That's
so
so
like
polite.
my real thoughts can't even come out anymore if I want them to sometimes because
Oh.
I'm so
Programmed,
conditioned
yeah.
to be PC at this point.
It
And you
drives
just keep
me
like,
nuts.
are you always circling back for the answer? And
No.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I have used that word.
there's a whole bunch more that I think I try to not say, and when I do, I'm like, but that's what I need to
Yeah.
say, and I want to sound like that. I don't think I'm corporate anymore.
My organization is going through like a whole cultural shift and business operating model change, and I'm actually one of the coaches for the organization to like move people into this new business
Cool.
model. And it's been a lot of fun, but a big part of it is allowing people within the organization to bring their authentic selves to work and to be who they are and use the skills that they have as humans generally to do things that they thrive with in the office and to
Wow.
work on things
That's
that
a
they
very progressive
are
corporate.
truly
Yeah.
passionate about. So it
Wow.
is, right? It's a huge
I mean, in idea, it sounds
huge
very.
organization. It's like
Yeah.
public information. I work for Bayer. It's a whole new operating model, but I feel like it's been very empowering for me because in my mind initially I was like, I can't be who I really am at work because I have to be this
Right.
polished corporate
This persona,
executive.
right.
But on the show, I can be who I really am. But I have to walk a fine line because if I say something wrong on the show,
gonna
it could
say,
impact
yeah.
my professional life. But now my professional life is teaching people to be their authentic selves at work. So now I'm being me at work
How's it being
as
received?
best as I can be.
Yeah.
But there's still like a
line.
there's a line.
There's
there
a
always
line.
will be.
Yeah. And you're always
and there
cautious
probably
of.
should
Yeah.
be, right? Like,
Yes.
you know?
mean, I could see where
We'll
it
say
could get out of
yes.
control. I agree. I mean, I can see where it could get out of control, where people get a little too comfortable. But at the same time, it is a professional work environment.
Right.
You have to be concerned about that.
Yeah.
It's business at the end of the day. I get that. But like, as far as I'm concerned, if I'm like sitting here shooting the shit with guests and with you and whatever, I am not filtering anything. I'm
Right.
done filtering.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I filter less now in work and here than I would have previously because it's all sort of coming together about just being you.
Right. And that's the message we had at our event. That's all these influencers kept talking about. I think people come to these. I don't love panels, and I love this panel because it wasn't like this is how you're going to go viral overnight. It's
Right.
like, you got to be yourself.
Yep.
You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And you have to work your ass off.
You do.
Like,
Yeah.
that doesn't change any formula for any business in any industry.
No.
100%.
An influencer, like, I watch how many videos they do
Yeah.
and content they create, and like, we do it on our end, but I'm like, the dedication and commitment to that is such a big deal.
Yeah.
But
It's a
they
lot.
kept coming through with the same thing. It's just be you.
Yep.
And the people that are going to respond are going to be in your community.
Yeah.
And you're going to want them.
And also, I mean, if you're being a phony, people are going to snip that right out. I'm
And they're going
sorry.
to attract each other.
They absolutely
Like, go be
will.
phony over there
Yeah.
together and have your bobblehead talks.
Yep.
Right.
And I'm going to sit at the table with you girls
Right.
and have real talk,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like, it's different games.
It's
so.
funny too, because like Jess and I, again, she's in corporate America still, so she's even starting out with this. I know her the best that
Sure.
anybody could know her.
She
You know what I mean? So I know like when she's being ratchet. I know when she's like, like being funny. When she's just like letting it out. And I know when she's being more composed
Yeah.
and mindful is the
Right.
word I would say. And
Self-aware.
I'll call her on it. Yeah,
That is what we're all trying to achieve.
Yes.
So kudos to you.
Yes, but like your self-awareness is for different reasons, I think. It's not for
True. That
it's
could
because
be.
you have another concern.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? About how you're being received, not just by our audience, but by my colleagues and your
Right.
career, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. But like when I see you doing it, I'm like, stop it.
She does.
Stop.
She's called me out.
But stop with your fake voice.
Yeah.
I hate your
Oh
fake
my
voice.
God. I don't
can't.
want to out this person, but I have a very close friend that I know, and she's a business owner,
Yeah.
and they're very successful. And I won't out them, but and she'll know when she sees this. I know when she goes in a store because it goes from no way. Oh, I can't believe that was what they said. And I'm like,
I'm
she
telling you,
literally
she does
said
it
to me yesterday, yes, I just went into Target, leave me alone.
Yes, exactly.
We were at an event at Google like a couple months ago, and we went to have a glass of wine, and we're just shooting the shit like
Yeah.
this, talking to each other, waiting for
Just
our
like on the
Uber.
sidewalk having
And
a
the
drink.
waiter comes over, and I'm like, "We'll have a glass of Pinot Grigio," and she's like,
stop.
"That customer service voice, you faker."
You know what? I don't know if
And I'm
it's
like, I just am
It's
trying
funny.
to be like nice. I feel like if I
don't think there's anything right.
to like make sure I like my RBF and my ratchet Joseph personality is what this guy's first impression is going to be of me, and I'm like, I don't necessarily want you to think I'm a total bitch.
Yes.
Like, I'm go above and beyond to be like, hi.
You're
overcompensating.
And that's her admit. She's like, you're phony.
I'm like, stop
Take
with
it
the
down
fake
a notch.
voice. We're just
Take it
hanging out,
down.
for God's
Right.
sake.
Trying to be
It's
nice.
just
so
a drink.
funny.
That is
Oh, God,
funny.
it cracks
But
me
it's
up.
hard though. Like I said to somebody else the other day, and I think that's what I love best about being able to navigate turnkey women, because at first that was so how I approached it, because I've been in real estate and title insurance,
Yeah.
and my jobs have always been like I have a different title insurance wardrobe
Yeah.
because it's so this. And when I started Turnkey Women, like I'd show up in jeans and a shirt, and it was like, oh, it
Oh my
just feels so much
God.
better.
Absolutely.
And it was like shedding this like pretend
Yeah.
Yes.
exterior and just being myself. Jeans, t-shirt,
Yes.
literally when I showed up, and flip-flops.
I love it.
And
Love
it
it.
felt so right.
Yeah.
And
Good.
I just kept, no matter how much the money was over here, I just kept going this way.
So
and going
are you
this way.
still doing like the title insurance stuff?
I
or is
have
this,
clients,
like,
yeah.
Your
It's
full-time gig now.
It just became my full-time obsession.
I love it.
And started to materialize in ways that now we can really monetize
That's
and,
amazing.
and make it something that has a lot more potential than I think we could have ever even realized. So yes, and I'm putting it in the universe. Yes, I want this to be Stacey. Well, she loves real estate, like obsessed with real estate, and I love that for her. I don't know how anybody could be insurance obsessed, but there are people who are. It's just too in the box for
Yep.
me.
Yeah, I
Like
get it.
I'm an out of the box kind of girl. Like
Yeah.
I just like to be myself. And
Yep.
the women that have come to this community with Turnkey, it's just I am impressed by all of us in so many ways, and being the hype woman, as I like to take the title now.
I love that.
I could not love anything more.
That's
like it
awesome.
took me 45 years to finally say I know what I want to do with my life.
That's great.
right.
like
Good
it's the
for
coolest
you.
thing ever.
I think
Good
that's
for
what it's
you.
all about, right? Especially, and it's so funny that you say like 45, because I feel like that's when it happens. It's like between like
Yeah.
38 and 45, you like
Yeah.
have this awakening as
Yes.
a female
Yes.
to where you're like, fuck everything.
Yes,
Yep.
you don't give your fuck area. Like
yeah,
now
yeah,
I know,
zero,
right?
exactly.
Like I'm good.
Yes, I love
and I
it.
was done working. I had kids later. I had my first son when I was 37, and I was like, I've worked for 20 years
Yeah.
now. I'm good.
Yeah.
And then my kids had some challenges, and I was like, I knew work as the way to refocus.
Yeah.
And I went back into title because it was flexible in sales, and I could do that and still do what I had to do for my kids. And then this just came, and I was like, oh, like there was, you know, when people say like things lead you to places, and we always think like stupid girls, it's always about a dude, which I love my husband. It's
Yeah.
not that. But when I had this, it brought me to a place where I was in a dark space with my kids. Their challenges really threw me for a loop, and how to navigate that. But when I met all of these women, it literally made me like re-energize
Yes.
myself, be there for my kids, have this like very clear, concise idea of how to navigate their issues.
Yep.
And this just like re-energized me in a way that I didn't know I needed as badly as I
It
needed.
lights you up.
Holy shit.
It sounds very similar to like you and this whole podcast experience.
Yes.
It's like she's been out of corporate America for a long time now, not
never go
working,
back.
raising a kid
I'd rather die.
Yes.
by herself. It's hard,
Wow, it's a
right?
lot.
And it's like you need that something
You
for
do.
yourself
Yeah,
to like
for
drive
yourself.
you and that you're
Exactly.
passionate about, and that's fun. You know?
Yes.
And also, like, makes you feel like your brain isn't going to mush because all
Yep.
you're doing is talking about, like, the ABCs and
Right.
snot and
Right.
Blippy.
Right.
And,
Yep.
you know,
Oh my
like,
God, Blippy, my husband. He's like,
you know?
they haven't been on Blippy for a while, and we're both like
How old are your kids?
5 and 7.
Oh,
Okay.
she's right
Yep.
there with you.
My daughter's turning 5 next week.
Oh,
A week
yeah.
from today. Yeah, so that's,
It's-
I get it.
Yes, it's a lot, and like
It
you
is.
don't, have kids. They say it's fun. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, what time is it?
Yep.
Is it bedtime yet? No.
I had my niece, her daughter, stayed with us this last like week or so. Jess was in Cooperstown for her son's baseball tournament, so her daughter stayed
I
with us.
saw your video. I'm very cute.
And she is like the best 14-year-old I've ever met in my life. She could live with
a
me.
good kid.
I will not let anybody live with me. And I mean it. Like, my daughter is constantly asking me about marriage lately. And she's like,
Wow.
don't you want to get married? Aren't you sad you're not married? I'm like, no, I'm not. Do you know why? Because I don't want anybody to live with me.
That's
all
what-
right. Like, I
yes.
really don't. But she could live with me. She's such a good kid.
Aw.
But she would be playing with Mila for a couple of hours. And all of a sudden, like, she'd be like, it's really starting to get late. And Ash, don't you think it's bedtime? Isn't it time? And I'm like,
Time for bed.
this is exactly how it is. You are watching the clock, waiting for 8 o'clock to come around. You are waiting for
It's
it.
a
Maybe
lot.
they-
Yes,
Yes.
these kids, they take a lot of energy, and
Give
by
it
the
time
end
because
of
you'll
it,
get to a place where they outlast you now and they stay awake like longer than you do. Because mine are 12 and 14, and my husband and I go to bed before them. We're like, night.
good
bye.
one.
I loved having her though. We would
That's
literally
nice.
just sit on the couch and watch TV once we got my daughter
She's
down and
it's
like
a grow
eat
your own
snacks.
best
Yeah.
friend. That's
It
what I
was-
say.
yeah,
The
she was so
girls,
fun.
they turn into a grow your own best friend.
I can't wait till she can start like drinking wine.
I know.
That'll make her even more
Oof.
fun.
I just saw a mom's video, like she was her daughter just turned 21, and she's like, this feels weird, but very cool at the same time.
I'll tell you what, that was one of the things like when we were in our early 20s, when we were able to start, and our parents didn't drink growing up.
Yeah, mine
Like,
didn't either.
There was no alcohol.
Never.
in our
No,
house.
it was like some 50-year-old bottle of something that was like, oh,
yes.
what is that?
Like the
Yeah.
same bottle of wine was in the fridge for like
Right.
6 months.
Right.
Too long.
Exactly. But they didn't drink. They really didn't drink. But once we got to be like, I would say for me, it was like 18 to 21 or 18 and up.
Yeah.
Dad would start drinking with us, and Mom would have.
Oh, that's so
we
funny.
can have glasses of wine with Mom, and it's fun. It's
Yeah.
like nice to like.
That's funny.
And all the
we're gonna
bad
have
stuff that
Cosmos.
we did in life comes
Yeah.
out. We start drinking.
Then we
with
start
our
telling
mom.
the truth. We
Yes.
start
Oh,
Remember
yes.
the time when? And
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well, my
I'm
brother was
horrified.
really bad. So anything that I ever said was like, oh, that's it. I'm like, I know, right?
That's
Remember
awesome.
what he
I
did?
paved the way for all you little fuckers.
You're right. She's right. She's right. Nothing we did was that surprising.
No,
anymore.
no.
That was the bad one.
I guess not.
She said, well,
Yeah.
there might be a few things.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I didn't get pregnant.
Sorry. It's driving me crazy. I just had to get it out of the air.
Hallucinating.
I have a
Anybody else feel spiders crawling on them? Just kidding. Just kidding. It's the Red Bull.
No, but I didn't do bad stuff. I wasn't. I didn't like doing bad stuff. I still don't. It doesn't make me feel good. It makes me feel
No.
like, no, I'd
No.
rather,
I was bad.
We did stuff we weren't supposed to do.
Yeah, I was
that was
definitely-
different.
I like friends who do bad stuff they're not supposed to do. I just didn't like
I
to
like
be
the friends who do it.
Yes, those are my kind of people. But like I remember in high school, one of our friends, I had no idea we were in Lord and Taylor, and I'm just looking around and like, oh, this would be nice. None of us have money.
Right.
Well, all of a sudden, we all get
Oh,
yanked
no.
into the security room.
Oh,
And they were like,
no.
not just, but she had this giant, like it was like a magic hat.
Oh
She
my
had
God.
sandals, makeup samples, scarves, shoes. Like, I was like, when did this happen? I don't even know what to say. So they called our parents. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Dad, I promise you, I did not take anything. So the security guard's like, we have her on video. And my dad's like, show me.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they're like, we have it. And he goes, great, I'd
I wanna-
love to
I wanna
see
see
it. My
it.
daughter said she didn't take anything.
I want to see it.
And they were like, we don't have video. And I was like, Dad, I swear. To this day, I would own up to it if I did. I didn't like that. It made me feel weird. I never stole gum. Like, I wasn't that. I don't care if other people did. She had a closet full of shit she had stolen.
my
She
God.
used to give it
Maybe
out
she
to
had a
friends.
problem.
Or like, look at this great purse or whatever. This is so nice.
Oh my
But
God,
she was
her
like,
fetish. She's like, I just like to steal
Well,
shit.
I mean, we
that's
saw
what
her
they
closet,
say, like
yeah.
about people that shoplift,
Yeah.
because you even see like
It's like the thrill.
celebrities
Yeah,
getting
it's a
yes.
caught.
Winona,
That's
wasn't it Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yes,
come on,
she would do
girl.
it for the dopamine hit. It was like crazy.
It's crazy, but that's that's the thing.
Yes,
It's like the
yes.
thrill of doing something
Yes.
wrong. It's
Yes.
not like they can't afford
No.
something, like stealing bread to feed their kids.
Right.
No, I mean,
Totally different.
I would say, I mean, the stuff that we did wrong was like we'd throw parties when we knew we were
Yeah, that's
supposed
it.
to. You know what I mean?
Typical.
Stuff like that.
Oh, I didn't. I've
like,
done
I
that and
never
didn't
stole
consider it
anything.
doing something wrong.
I
I
would
mean, I
never
guess our standards.
Steal it. You got caught stealing.
I did. It was not my fault.
Well, did you not steal?
I did.
She did. She got.
I'm not judging.
Oh, listen,
I just
judge
am a
away.
weenie. No, I'm a
No,
weenie.
I
That's
judge
what
away.
She was a teenager.
I was
She
a teenager.
like 16 years old.
Yeah, we were kids
I
when she did
remember
this too.
we got
I don't
caught
think she steals now.
I definitely do not. And we got taught.
No, would never.
No, not you. The girl who I knew.
Oh.
You're like, maybe she does. I don't know.
You definitely steal. Yeah, I'm gonna check my purse before I leave.
All the stuff I want now is impossible to steal.
Yeah,
I know,
It's
right?
like
That's a valid point.
chain lock.
Right.
Right.
No, but she got caught stealing
Anything
when she
worth
was like,
stealing can't steal.
yeah, she was
I was
like
stealing
16
makeup
and she was
from
stealing makeup from
ShopRite.
ShopRite.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I
Yeah.
mean, come on.
Caught
But no,
stealing.
this
She was
girl is
hanging out
stealing
with a
like
bad crowd.
crazy stuff.
Yeah. Well, one bad person.
Yeah.
That happens to be our cousin. He just
Oh.
happens to be trash.
Oh.
So it's like one of those situations.
It's everywhere. Every family has it somewhere.
Exactly. I'm telling you, anytime anybody was ever around this chick, though, they always ended up in some kind of trouble.
Yeah, she still is trouble.
Yes, 100%. You got caught stealing. Lindsay got pregnant. I mean, I just feel like, I don't know, her brother shits everywhere.
Oh God.
It would be like that. We had so many poo incidents. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. We love poo.
Okay, I have
his
to sort of
nickname.
circle back to my
There you go, girl.
Atlantic Highlands story.
Oh, good. Yes.
So I was
give some tea.
it's not that tea. It's like kind of funny, but
Oh, right. Funny story.
I was in the city for like a thing for work or whatever, and I had a car service scheduled through work to take me home from the city because I just hate driving in and out if I don't have to, and the
Yeah.
company will pay for a car service.
Perfect.
So I go in, I'm leaving, and my hometown is Highland Lakes, is what it is. So the driver has my home address and he's taking me home, and I'm exhausted. It's like a full day in the city, tired, traveling early, blah, blah, blah. I get in the car, ready to go home, and I fall asleep. And I wake up 2 hours later, and it's about how long it takes to get home from the city at rush hour
Jeez.
for me normally. And
Yeah.
he's like, "We're here." And I was like, "Cool." And I'm like,
Where the fuck are we?
where's here? And he's like, "It's your house." And I'm like,
I don't live here.
this,
Stop.
this is not my house. And he's like, "Yeah, Highlands, New Jersey." And I'm like, "No, guy.
Oh my God.
Highland Lakes, New Jersey, which is Sussex County.
I was gonna say
versus
that.
Atlantic Highlands." I
my-
was almost 4 hours from home because I fell asleep in the car.
Unbelievable.
I was
Why?
like,
That's
"I'll
like your
never
fault.
do that again."
You're not the
Never.
driver?
He was so pissed at me. And
How
meanwhile,
is it
I'm
your
like,
fault?
well, I guess, I mean, had I stayed awake, I could have been like, "Bro, you're going south. You should be going north,
Yeah, we're
right?"
going
But
the
like,
wrong way.
But
I
it's
don't
not
know.
your fault. That the whole point of having a
I know.
driver is
So
to
I
have
don't
a
have to
driver
worry.
takes
Yeah.
you home.
Exactly.
If you want to sleep, he's getting paid. Then
Right.
you're not talking to him.
Yeah.
We're at that.
Never ever again will I
Oh
fall
my
asleep.
gosh.
Yeah, it was awful. So, yeah.
I love falling asleep in the car when I'm not driving.
Me too.
I feel bad
right?
for
I
our
could sleep
Uber
anywhere.
drivers sometimes, like when they're taking us to
Oh God, because we just
we're this.
banter like this the entire time.
yeah,
Like the whole time.
I think it's hysterical.
And the driver's probably
You
like,
girls do
"Ugh."
know you started a podcast, so people
Yeah,
can
exactly,
listen to
right?
this, right? Like,
Well, I mean, we have no filter either when we're in there, too.
I love
so
it.
it's like, whatever, it's fine.
Oh my God.
they
I always
probably sit
apologize
there
when
and
we get out.
giggle the whole time.
full
Yeah,
hour
really.
raging
I'd
about my
imagine.
husband. And
Yeah,
my last
yeah.
driver.
That's when you should be
Kill it.
recording is those conversations.
Yeah, we put the camera in the car.
We
We
did.
did for the rides down here so that we can start like just recording our conversations because so much crazy shit comes out
Yes.
when we're just
Talking. Stacey and I said that every time. We're like, get off the phone. This should be a podcast.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
we get on the podcast and we're like, So
It's like $80 on
welcome.
Amazon to
Yeah.
get one of those cameras. So
I know,
easy.
I
It's like,
know.
definitely
Oh,
worth
that's
it.
Prime
good
Day.
to
That's
know.
what you
Yeah.
did. Prime
Yep.
Day deal.
That's
Prime
a
Day deal.
good call. We'll have to remember. I won't remember, but I'll pretend like I'll remember.
Definitely worth it.
It is.
Definitely
It's fun.
worth it. Plus, I mean, I catch some funny things about like my kid in the car when she's with me. It's funny too. Like some of the ridiculous things she'll say, like, "Why are you showing that guy your pinky?" I'm like, I'm not. You showed me his pinky first, okay? Old. Good God.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like
the
a thing.
pinky.
It's like a thing now in our family where if like someone's being
Yeah, my
like
mom
an
used to
asshole
do that.
driver,
Yeah.
even my son will be like, "Mom, give that guy the pinky."
It's kind of like you watch Friends.
Yes.
Okay, so like
Yes. I think I did that not too long ago to somebody, and they were younger, and they looked at me like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Exactly."
tell me you're not a millennial without telling me you're not a
Yeah,
millennial.
right. That's a good one. That's a really easy one.
So
Although now
that's
they watch it on like whatever Hulu or whatever,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now they're all
They do.
into
They
it
watch, like,
again.
all the old
yeah.
shows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like back.
Speaking of Friends, did anybody else see that they arrested some people for
I
the Matthew
did.
Perry overdose?
I just saw that for the ketamine. It was a doctor
Yeah.
and like some
chick who was known as like the ketamine
drug
queen.
dealer.
Well, thank God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's shitty. Matthew Perry.
Yeah.
Rip.
I'm curious. Rip. I swear. But I don't know. I wonder if they're going to be able to make that stick against her.
If enough people come forward.
Yeah.
And no one's going to buy from them again, if nothing else.
Yeah, no.
Right?
And
Like
so it
the
was-
exposing of it all.
I want to say it was the doctor, the ketamine queen or whatever they called her, and like her friend. And her friend was making a point to make sure that she was his main supplier. And like they were really pushing for
boasting?
it. Yeah. Like it was it's pretty twisted.
I think this is like a legit thing now.
it is.
I mean, this is going to take a dark turn, so I don't know if we want to go down this road. But like,
All right.
meaning where like when they're prosecuting people for like when people are overdosing, they are actively finding the source and trying to prosecute.
They
these
should.
people.
Why not?
I mean, I have a ton of friends who are cops, and this is like a thing.
Speaking
Really?
of which, did you
Which is
notice,
good.
or did you see that Nelly got caught with ecstasy?
No.
Yeah.
You think they would stop at
Why
some
are you
point?
doing ecstasy
Nelly, what
now?
are you doing?
How old are you?
What are you
Right.
doing? I was always afraid when I was like a teenager. I mean, we definitely took our fair share of ecstasy, but whatever. I was always afraid to ever have it.
It was
on
different
me.
then, by
It
the
was,
way.
Yeah, it was.
And there was no fentanyl. Like
Yeah.
That's what I
there is
mean.
today.
It
No, there was
wasn't.
none
yeah.
of that.
There's
But
a real
definitely-
risk now.
I was
took my
even
weed and
terrified
ecstasy.
then to take it. I was like, I only want the one with the dove on it. Like whatever the dove is, I'll take that one. I don't know. I had a dove in print.
Like you're
Like, I don't know. I feel like
namaste.
the grace of God
Oh
is
my
somewhere
gosh.
with me. I don't know.
Yes,
I
that's
won't
true.
The Holy
die.
Spirit is literally in your body.
Yeah, but somebody
has
told
saved us.
me when I was a teenager that if you got caught with any ecstasy pills, for every ecstasy pill you had, it was considered like a manslaughter charge or something.
What?
And I believed it. I don't know if it's
I
true
would
or
believe
not.
it.
But I was like, ooh, well, I'm never driving with this. And I'm never going to have like my own stash of it. I mean, I only did it a few times, but whatever. Doesn't matter.
We all did.
But like, I mean, who didn't, right? Exactly.
I stopped because I liked it too much. I was like, oh no.
Oh, no.
I mean, I was in a basement once, and it was like a black light, and there was a band, and
Yeah,
somebody
you've
went like
been
this,
there.
and I was like,
You have
oh,
definitely
that
been
feels
there.
good.
I think
Do
I was
that
at that
again,
party.
and I'm like, I need.
Jess
to
is like,
stop.
was there body paint involved? Because I
There
swear
may
I
have
was
been.
there.
I don't know.
Grown adults
I
walking
can
around
still
with pacifiers in
remember
their
that
mouth.
that moment of like somebody doing this on my arm, being like, I was like, never again.
So
Yeah.
funny. Like, yeah, like I remember
Never
somebody
again.
saying that, like if you got caught with it, it was a manslaughter charge for
Wow.
every
Well,
pill.
good. I think that it should be.
Yeah.
It
At
should
least
be.
now as an
It's
adult,
right.
especially as a
It's-
mother, right?
yeah.
I'm like, I don't want my kids
100%.
touching any.
Don't take anything.
ever.
Don't.
Ever.
I had
Terrifying.
somebody's mom say to them, if it's something you're going to do it at home when I'm here. And I'm like, that's a really interesting conversation to have. Like, that's a big, hey, Mom, I think I'm going to do ecstasy tonight. What are you doing later?
I don't listen. Anything with pills.
I'm not
I'd be
here to
like,
judge, but
No, yeah, I
No.
feel like I hope
a
my
different
kids don't do
conversation would
anything.
be
wanna
like, if
drink?
you fucking do it, I'll fucking murder
Yeah,
you.
well, that's me, and I'm like, I try to scare the shit out of them
Yes.
because, like, unfortunately, there's still people our age that we grew up with who are dying,
Look.
and so every time someone dies, I'm like, yo, to my kids, this person
Yeah.
dead. Guess why? They're doing drugs still. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to.
Stupid.
You
Yeah.
have to be
Stupid.
so open
Absolutely.
with the ugly.
I know.
Mhm.
I try
And
to scare
especially
them.
when they're young enough where that really resonates,
Yeah.
right? Like where it's not like, oh, mom, that's not going to happen. It's
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah.
You die. God, this is the weirdest parallel, and I probably should have you not put this in, or even not say it as I'm editing myself.
Definitely say it.
I'm gonna say it. So
I'm here for
when
it.
my son was, I guess, a baby, he was in diapers. My husband was walking by once, and he was like, I guess I was changing his diaper, and I was like, if anybody else touches it, it's gonna fall off. And my husband's like, you better stop fucking saying that to him. I'm like, nobody but mommy can touch that unless it falls off. He's like, he's 6 months old. What are you doing to him? And I'm like, I'm making sure that no fucking skank dirty bitches touches it.
Absolutely.
I totally get it.
Right?
Listen,
Same thing. Scare the
get
shit
it.
out of them.
I do the same thing with my kid, and I do it with like brushing her teeth. Remember, I would Google Mountain Dew teeth.
Oh
and tell her
my
if she didn't-
God. Mountain
she
Dew
didn't-
mouth. Have you
yeah,
seen
Mountain
this?
Dew mouth.
It's like a
No,
Midwest thing.
no.
If you don't brush your teeth will rot out of your mouth, and it's disgusting. And she's like, "No, they won't." And I'm like, "You want to see pictures? I'll show you."
You have
people
to
who
have
don't brush their
receipts these
teeth."
days with
Yeah,
these
you
kids.
do.
Because they
all
can
the time.
Google everything.
Yes.
So if they're like, my mom's a
Fact-checking
liar,
geniuses.
Yes.
liar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to
Mountain
know-
Dew mouth. That was me.
Yeah.
I started that.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's a real thing.
But
That's
it
a
scared the shit out
And
of
my
her. I'm
kids
telling
will-
you, she was like
not
For like 3 hours.
brushing away,
They
getting
do not want
flossing,
soda.
everything.
No,
No,
and
they're
then
petrified.
you're a better child for it. Trust me.
Yeah.
And then they'll start a podcast, and then they're gonna
Yeah.
say with across
Yeah.
the ear and be like,
She's gonna be like, "Do you know my
Mess up
mom
my
told
mom
me?"
and
Yeah.
stitch in
Yes.
this moment, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. It's so
I-
true.
I-
That's
been
a full
telling-
circle.
I've been
Yes.
telling my daughter since she could understand, like, not to lie, because lying to me is the worst
Worst.
thing you could possibly do. Your credibility is everything
For
in
sure.
life. It will say everything about your character. You do not lie. That's the worst thing you can do in my eyes. I don't care if you drink. I don't care if you smoke cigarettes. I don't give a shit. Don't be a liar.
Agreed.
That's
Right.
the worst thing.
Agreed.
So if you were to ask her, Mila, what happens to you if you lie? And she goes, you go to jail. I'm like, that's right.
Wait, so I guess this
You
is
do.
like child trauma healing right now.
I feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Thank you. No, you are. And I'll tell you what, I was with my ex and we were waiting at a light and it was red for what seemed like forever. And it was like, I don't know, 2 a.m. And all of a sudden he like goes on the gas so fast and I start screaming bloody murder. We're gonna get arrested. We're gonna get, and honking his horn. And I was like, he's like, what are we gonna get arrested for? And I was like, you honking your horn. He's like, so not going through the red light. My mom told me that if I honked my horn, you'd get arrested because it used to drive her crazy.
Oh my
When
God.
people
Yes.
would honk their horns. It would
Yes.
startle her.
Yeah.
So she said, if you honk your horn, you're going to get arrested.
Oh my God.
Freaked out.
That's
not going through a red light. That was not the issue at any time. And I'm sure he was screaming.
Nonsense.
great.
So
I
there
love
you
it.
go. And I'm okay now. I mean, my mom lied to me a lot, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure
I'm
ours lied to
fine.
us,
I
too.
didn't
Oh,
honk
no,
my
not
horns.
ever. She never.
She definitely lied to us, believe me. I'm
Every
sure.
parent.
I'm being facetious.
I remember my aunt lying to me about her age, and I can still feel it in my gut when I realized, like, I found out she lied because it was her birthday,
Aw.
and it was mom's sister, and I was literally like, "Oh, it's your birthday." I was probably 5, and I was like, "It's your birthday?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "How old are you?" And she's like, 29, and I was like, "Oh, that's
She
great."
probably
She wasn't.
was.
No, she wasn't. She wasn't.
I was going to say.
I was at her house. Mom came and picked me up later, and on our way home, I'm like, "Do you know it was Aunt so and so's birthday?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "She's 29." She's like, "No, she's not."
Oh my God.
And I was literally like, "Why would she lie to me?"
Devastated.
I never thought she would lie to me. I could still feel it in my chest, that weird
It's not a
sting
good
from
feeling.
finding out that she lied. But I mean, I get it. Like, it's fine.
Now looking back, I'm
Of
eternally
course.
33, so
That's what we say.
We joke about that all the time.
yeah, I
It's
can
like,
still get away with it. It's not like I'm saying I'm like 21, which,
Yep.
let's be real. But my husband says I can only get away with it because I'm short.
oh,
Ooh.
I'm like, yeah,
is that
fuck you.
why? That's
Because
fair.
he's tall.
Yeah.
So you look old. I look young.
That's
Good
great.
for me, sucks for you.
Good for you.
Yeah,
I've been
sure.
saying I've been
All
32
men
for
age
years.
so gracefully.
Yes.
I feel like they get better looking as they get older, and
Yeah,
we just
most
get
of
more
them.
I mean,
haggard
not
and-
all
yeah.
of them.
Not all of
No,
them.
you're right. That's true. My husband's getting better looking. I
Same.
hate
He
it.
is. Your
Oh
husband's
my God,
handsome.
this is not fair.
He's good looking.
Wow, you're gorgeous.
It's a lot of
I mean,
maintenance.
seriously.
It's a lot of work.
It is.
It's not like they
It's a
don't
lot
have to
of
do
work.
anything. They get in the
I
shower,
know.
wash their balls, and they're done. Like, they get dressed, and
I
that's
mean,
it.
but
Put on a
come
hat.
on.
Yes.
Have you ever thought about what it's really like to have them though? Like smacking around
No.
and like sweat.
No
Ugh.
thanks.
No.
Exactly. You can
Nah.
have your balls.
Yeah, you can have your balls.
You can have your
That's
ball
like having big
pegs.
tits. I'm
good.
so glad I don't. I'm like, no thanks.
No.
No, I love mine.
I know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I bought mine.
To each their own. To each their own. Juicy Tits says they're all great.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
Okay, so what else do we have coming up for Turnkey Women? Anything exciting?
So we just had our amazing boat trip, which was super cool, so well attended, and save the date is going to be coming out. I'll drop the date, and we're not even hiding it. We've told everybody. It's November 21st.
Okay.
We're doing another trolley bop.
fun!
Yes, so we're going to start at Liquavita in Middletown. They do IV, Botox, lip fillers. We're going to have like a whole like glam pre-party networking for like an hour. And then depending on how many attendees we get is going to determine how many trolleys we have.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be
So
fun.
we started with one, thank God, because that would have been, I would have had a panic attack and a nervous breakdown if there was more than one. It would timing wise. And now we've got a good idea of the logistics of it.
Right.
So we're going to go from there and do some holiday shopping in downtown Red Bank. So we're starting to hook up with some boutiques next week. And we're obviously still going to bring Case and Mauve and Soulshine and all of our girls, Siren and Stallion, are going to have a pop-up shop too.
Awesome.
So, yeah,
Nice.
so all of our girls will be there. So we want to meet some new ladies that we can hopefully bring into Turnkey, and then obviously still have our OGs.
Amazing.
Awesome.
So tell our listeners about your social media so they can follow Turnkey Women.
Yes.
And
yes, thank you. So
join
we
the
are
fun.
on, I mean, we always say somebody asked me, how do we join? And I'm like, start liking, commenting, and sharing all of the women's stuff. So you can find Turnkey on Instagram at turn.key.women. We are also on Facebook, Turnkey Women's Alliance, and on TikTok, turn.key.women as well. And turnkeywomensalliance.com is our website.
Perfect.
Thanks for having me
Yay.
on.
Thanks for coming.
It was so
It was so
fun.
nice chatting.
And this was, I popped my cherry today. First time on this side.
Good job.
So you guys, my first was my greatest.
Well, next time you're ready to do your podcast,
You girls need to
let us
come
know.
on.
We'll
Yes,
totally come.
yes.
Let us know.
We'll have another podcast crossover.
Amazing.
That would be
That'd be great.
amazing. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Great. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Bye.